Today we will be exploring Break, Break, Break by Lord Alfred Tennyson. He was a famous British poet from the 1800s who became an official poet for England in 1850. He was best known for his use of imagery and dramatic writing style. He was born on August 6, 1809 in England, and he died on October 6, 1892 in England. The poem was written after a sudden death of his best friend and his future brother-in-law. This affected Tennyson deeply, and this had made him want to write this poem called Break, Break, Break. This poem reflects the Victorian era in ways it reflects on the themes of loss and mortality, which were the main themes of this era. The main idea of Break, Break, Break is it explores how Tennyson mourns and experiences the sudden loss of his friend and the grief he goes through. Tennyson talks about the difficulty of moving on and how he struggled to find any time of solace or comfort around him.
The main theme of Break, Break, Break is grief, like deep personal grief that just won't go away. Tennyson is basically showing what it feels like to lose someone so important that the world just doesn't make sense anymore. He stands by the sea and the waves keep crashing, like over and over again. That repetition kind of mirrors how grief hits in waves as well. He even says that he can't speak the thoughts that rise in him, so there's this helplessness, like he doesn't even have the words for the pain that he's feeling. What makes it hit even harder is that everything else seems fine. Kids are playing, boats are moving, and people are just living their lives. But he himself is stuck in his moment of loss, and it shows how really isolating grief can be. This was super relatable in the Victorian era. People lost loved ones all the time, like from illness, war, or accidents. They had a whole system for mourning, black clothes, rules about how long to grieve, but that didn't mean that people understood their emotions. So the poem isn't just about Tennyson's grief, it's about how grief feels universal and timeless. Even today, people can relate to that feeling of missing someone while the world keeps turning. Okay, so I chose to rewrite Break, Break, Break into Watch, 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 and it is from the perspective of the ocean, basically talking to the man. So this is what I put. Watch, 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 my aqua waves roll on the cold gray shore. However, the old man stands silent, speaks pain I am hesitant to ignore. Kids are laughing down the beach, frolicking as though nothing is wrong. Boats with music playing drift by. Someone hums a joyful song. The old man just stares out at sea, as if he is waiting for a loved one he lost. I think he misses their voice or smile, someone gone no matter the cost. I attempt to comfort him through the waves and the wind, but he doesn't hear or see. Some things, I guess, not even the ocean can ever bring back to me. So I wrote this as an outsider perspective, and it basically shows how in life we are all spectators, and waves, similarly to life, they're always moving, even if you yourself, like the man, are at a standstill mentally. So he was really upset about the loss of his friend, yet everything around him was still moving, and the ocean was simply a spectator.
Through this project, our group learned that poetry can be a strong way to show deep feelings like sadness and grief. While working on Break, Break, Break by Alfred Lord Tennyson, we found out that he wrote this poem because of the death of his best friend. That helped us understand why the poem feels so emotional. We also saw how Tennyson used the image of the sea to show how his sadness was never ending and how time kept moving even though he didn't feel ready to move on. The tone of this poem stays sad and serious the whole time, which makes its message even stronger. We also realize that the poem still matters today because people still deal with grief and loss. It helps us see that even though this poem was written a long time ago, the feelings in it are still something people can relate to today. This project helped us understand how poetry can connect people and express things that are hard to say.